Welcome to Smart Listening Lab, a channel for learning English through podcasts. The Deep Dive, that's what we call this show. And the idea is pretty simple, really. You, our listeners, send us something you want to dig into, maybe an article, notes like today, could be anything. And while we take a proper look at it together, we try to get beyond the surface level, find those key takeaways, maybe some surprising bits so you get the useful info without, feeling buried in it. So today, it's a really practical one. We've got this document from a listener we're calling The Learner. It's titled Phone Conversation Tips.pdf. Now, for someone like the learner, looking to learn efficiently, really get to grips with something, this is gold. Our mission today is to give you, the learner, some solid, actionable tips for phone calls. Not just how to survive them, but how to make them, productive, professional, maybe even pleasant. We'll try and pull out some of the nuances, the things you might not immediately think of, and keep it all clear. Okay, let's kick off with the first big theme in this document. Getting ready for outbound calls. Making the call. It sounds basic, maybe, but getting this prep right, it really sets the stage. A first point it makes, define your objective. Like really define it, not just vaguely, I need to call about X.
Right. And the document pushes beyond just, say, gathering information. It suggests getting specific. Why is that so helpful, do you think?
Well, the source suggests things like confirm the exact delivery date, or understand the return policy specifics, or check bulk discount thresholds.
Exactly. And having that precision, it doesn't just make you focused. It sort of signals respect for the other person's time from the get-go. They know you're not there to waffle. It streamlines everything.
Yeah, no aimless wandering. And the next tip flows right from that. Jot down your key points. Structure them. The document even gives headings like info to gather, questions to ask, points to convey, desired outcome. Seems quite structured.
It does, but think of it like a safety net, maybe. Prevents that, what was I going to ask moment. You've got a little map for the conversation, keeps you on track, make sure you cover the essentials, avoids that sinking feeling after you hang up, realizing you forgot something crucial.
Definitely been there. Okay, next up. Have the necessary info ready. Anticipate what they might need from you.
Think about it from their side. Calling customer service. If you have your account number, order ID, whatever it is, ready to go, it's not just faster for you. It shows the agent you're prepared, you value their time. It just makes the whole thing smoother, more competent. The example given, customer ID, recent bill, case number for a service provider call, that's bear on.
Good point. Then there's timing the call. We all think about time zones, obviously, but this suggests going deeper. Thinking about their work patterns.
Yeah, it's about consideration, isn't it? Not just, are they technically in the office, but is this likely a good time for them to actually focus? Maybe avoid that Monday morning rush or right before lunch, unless it's genuinely urgent and you've maybe flagged it beforehand. It shows respect for their rhythm.
And respecting their rhythm often means you get a better hearing.
Rightfully increases your chances, yeah. And that respect extends to your own environment, too, according to the document. Finding a quiet, private space.
Oh, yes. The background noise issue. We've all been on calls where you can barely hear the person for the cafe chatter or kids screaming.
Exactly. It's distracting for them, hard to concentrate. And honestly, it can sound unprofessional, even if it's unavoidable sometimes. Finding a quiet room or even stepping outside if you need to, especially for important or sensitive calls, shows you're serious. If it's really noisy, maybe even offer to reschedule.
Good shout. Okay, tech checks.
Yeah.
Battery life. Signal strength. Seems obvious, but dropped calls are the worst.
They really are so frustrating. It interrupts the flow, looks unprofessional. Just making sure your phone's charged, maybe checking you're in a spot with decent reception, or using Wi-Fi calling if that's more reliable where you are. Simple stuff, big impact.
Definitely. And the last prep point, maybe for those bigger, higher stakes calls, mental rehearsal.
Yeah, it's not about scripting the whole thing, but maybe just running through the opening in your head.
Yeah.
How you'll introduce yourself, state the purpose, maybe even anticipating a tricky question or two. It can just boost your confidence, make you feel a bit more ready, less anxious, like a little warm-up.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's prepping to make a call. What about the flip side, professionally answering calls coming in? The document talks about a golden standard, answering within 2 to 3 rings. Why that specific window?
Well, think about the caller's perception. Answer instantly, first ring. Might feel a bit abrupt, like you were just sitting there staring at the phone. Let it ring forever. Feels like you're not there, or maybe don't care. 2 or 3 rings. It suggests you're attentive, but gives you like half a second to switch gears before you speak. A nice balance.
Right. Not too eager, not too slow. And then identification. Clearly stating who you are. The document gives different examples for work versus personal.
Yeah, the key is clarity. Let the caller know immediately they've got the right place or person. Professionally, your name from company name is standard, gives context. Personally, if you're expecting a call, maybe just your name speaking. If not, a simple hello lets them identify themselves first. Consistency helps.
And the tone. It emphasizes being pleasant, authentic. It even mentions smiling, translating to a warmer voice. Does that actually work?
Oh, it really does. You can often hear a smile, can't you? Your voice is everything on a phone call. Carries all the emotional weight. A genuine warmth, a bit of enthusiasm showing you're willing to help. It makes a huge difference to how the caller feels.
True. And interestingly, it also says be ready to take notes, even when receiving a call. I kind of thought that was more for outbound calls.
Well, you never know what might come up, do you? Even if you didn't initiate the call, they might give you a crucial piece of information. A name, a number, a date, a specific request. Having a notepad or an app ready means you can grab it accurately. Dating and timing notes, like the document suggests, is also smart. You avoid relying just on memory later. It's about being prepared for anything.
My 2 point. Okay, preparation and answering covered. Now let's get into the meat of it, the conversation itself. Starting with the opening. Polite greetings, tailored to the time of day, good morning, good afternoon. Seems basic, but the document flags cultural nuances too, like using Bonjour, Monsieur Dubois in France.
Exactly. Little touches like that show awareness, respect for their context. It can build rapport right from the start, beyond just the standard pleasantries.
And for outbound calls, identifying yourself and your purpose clearly,
Yeah.
but also adding context, if possible, like mentioning a prior email. Why is that extra bit useful?
Context is king. Think about the person receiving the call. They might be juggling dozens of things. If you just say, hi, it's name, they might be thinking name. Which name? Referencing that email, hi, it's name following up on my email about X, instantly clicks things into place for them. Saves them mental energy, gets you to the point faster. It's respectful.
It makes perfect sense. And then that polite check. Is now a good time, offering to reschedule if needed.
Yeah, such a crucial courtesy. You're acknowledging their world doesn't revolve around your call. Asking if they have a few minutes puts the control in their hands, shows you respect their time and aren't just barging in, sets a much better tone.
Okay, call opened respectfully. Now, clear and concise communication. This is the core, really. Speaking clearly, enunciating, varying your pace. The document suggests imagining you're talking to a non-native speaker. That's an interesting mental trick.
It is, isn't it? It just makes you more conscious of how you're speaking. Are your words distinct? Is your pace easy to follow? Especially if there are language differences or even just a bad connection, that clarity is vital. Varying pace also helps emphasize what's important.
And volume.
Yeah.
Finding the Goldilocks zone, not shouting, not whispering, and being aware of your own voice. Maybe even checking, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, because your perception of your volume might not match theirs. Their phone, the connection, background noise on their end, lots of variables. A quick check is just sensible, avoids frustration.
Then, being direct and purposeful. The why are we talking principle, making sure every sentence counts.
Right, time is valuable for everyone. Get to the point efficiently. And if you have several things to discuss, maybe signal that up front. I wanted to quickly cover 2 things with you today. Help some follow along.
Good tip. And one we should all remember. Simple, accessible language. Avoid jargon unless you're absolutely sure they understand it.
Oh, definitely. Keep it clear. Technical terms, acronyms, industry slang, they can just confuse people or make them feel excluded. If you have to use a specific term, maybe offer a quick, simple explanation. Clarity is always the goal.
Okay, now a big one. Active listening. The document calls it the foundation of understanding. It's way more than just not talking, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It's fully tuning in, giving your complete attention, not just hearing the words, but listening for the tone, the pauses, what's not being said maybe. It means quieting that inner voice that's busy planning your reply. You need to absorb first.
And it specifically mentions resisting the urge to interrupt. That can be tough sometimes.
It really can. We often want to jump in, but letting them finish shows respect, ensures you get the full picture. Okay, small verbal cues like mm-mm or I see show you're tracking, but cutting them off mid-flow, generally avoid that, unless maybe there's a clear misunderstanding you need to fix right now, but do it politely.
Then asking questions. Both open-ended and clarifying ones. What's the distinction there?
So open-ended questions invite broader answers. Think how, why, could you tell me more about? They encourage detail. Clarifying questions are more specific, checking understanding. So when you say X, do you mean Y? Or just to confirm that was Tuesday the 9th? Both are vital. One explores, the other confirms. You need both for real understanding.
And the technique of paraphrasing or summarizing,
Mm-hmm.
saying back what you think you heard.
Yeah, super useful. Okay, so if I'm understanding correctly, you're suggesting we. It does two things. Confirms you got it right and makes the other person feel truly heard. Validates their input.
The document brings up detailed notes again here, using bullet points, abbreviations, and confirming details while noting them down like, okay, so that's 500 pounds, correct?
Exactly. It locks in accuracy. Your notes become a reliable record. Confirming as you go prevents mistakes creeping in from mishearing or misremembering just moments later.
Tone of voice, again, the emotional mirror. That really captures it.
It does. Your tone reflects and can influence the emotional climate of the call. Warmth, sincerity, confidence they can build bridges, diffuse tension. Negativity breeds negativity. Practice that positive, professional tone.
And if things do get tense, the advice is manage your own emotions. Slow your breathing, speak calmly. Sounds like general life advice.
It really is. Taking that physical pause, controlling your breath, helps you stay calm and think clearly. Avoid reacting emotionally. Use measured language. Even a phrase like, okay, let me just take a moment to think about that, can buy you a second to compose yourself.
Yeah. Then there's the respect test, avoiding multitasking. We've all been tempted checking email during a call. But it often shows, doesn't it?
It really does. Even if you think you're slick, the slight delay in your response, the keyboard tapping, it signals you're not fully present. Undivided attention shows respect. Simple as that.
And handling silences. The document calls them breath rooms. Not feeling you have to fill every single pause. I definitely do that sometimes.
Yeah. Many of us find silence awkward, but short pauses are often thinking time, processing time, for both people. Jumping in too fast can interrupt their train of thought or just make you sound anxious. Let those little pauses happen.
Finally, a practical one. Bad connections. Be proactive. Offer to call back. Suggest switching lines.
Right. Don't just struggle through crackles and dropouts. Take ownership. This connection isn't great. Shall I try calling you right back? Shows professionalism, commitment to clear communication.
Okay, so we've navigated the call itself. Now, wrapping it up effectively. Closing the call professionally. There are some key steps here. First, summarizing key points and action items, making sure everyone agrees before you hang up. The example. So you'll send the proposal by tomorrow. I'll review by Wednesday. Does that sound right? Why is that recap so critical?
It cements understanding, avoids that, wait, I thought you were doing that situation later. It confirms everything, ensures you're both leaving the conversation with the same expectations. That final check, does it sound right, gets explicit buy-in.
And building on that, clearly confirming who does what next. Your name will do X, their name will provide Y. Accountability.
Exactly. No ambiguity. Everyone knows their specific task and responsibility moving forward. Crucial for making sure things actually happen.
Then, simple but important, expressing gratitude. A genuine thanks for your time, or really appreciate your help with that.
It just leaves a positive final impression, doesn't it? Acknowledges their contribution, good manners, good relationship building.
And warm farewells too. Look forward to connecting again, or have a wonderful day.
Yeah, that closing sentiment matters. Ends the interaction on a pleasant, courteous note.
And a subtle etiquette point, waiting for the other person to sort of signal the end, especially in formal settings. Maybe letting the caller or the senior person hang up first.
That's often the convention, yeah. It's a small sign of deference or respect for roles. Not always critical, but good to be aware of in more formal business contexts.
Right. So we've covered the whole call life cycle. The document finishes with some broader etiquette points, best practices. Punctuality for scheduled calls. Seems obvious, but treating that time as valuable, maybe even being ready a minute early.
Absolutely. Shows respect for their schedule. And if you are running late, even by a minute or two, a quick message is just common courtesy.
Dropped calls, who calls back? The document suggests usually the person who initiated the call.
That's a general rule of thumb, yeah. Saves both people trying at once and getting a busy signal. Maybe a quick text to confirm who's redialing if it's urgent.
Being patient and understanding if the other person is struggling to articulate something. Giving them space.
Yeah, show a bit of grace. Not everyone finds phone calls easy, or they might just need a moment to formulate their thoughts. Don't rush them.
Flexibility, too. We talked about preparation, but the document also says don't be so rigid that you can't follow a useful tangent if it comes up naturally.
Good balance, right. Be prepared, know your goal, but allow for natural conversation flow if it's productive. Don't let the script become a straitjacket.
And knowing when to wrap up. Once the objectives are met, conclude efficiently. Respect people's time.
Definitely. Don't let calls drag on unnecessarily after the purpose is served. Be mindful of everyone's schedule.
A big etiquette no-no. Speakerphone in public or crowded places. Privacy, sound quality. Just don't do it.
Oh, major faux pas. It compromises confidentiality, and honestly, the sound quality is usually terrible for the person on the other end. Use headphones or find a quiet spot.
Minimizing background noise generally. If it's unavoidable, acknowledge it. Speak closer to the mic.
Yeah, try and create that professional bubble as best you can. Acknowledging unavoidable noise shows awareness.
Handling call waiting gracefully. Acknowledge the beep to your current caller. Offer them options. Hold briefly. Call back.
Right. Don't just vanish. Keep the person you're talking to informed. Give them a choice. It's respectful.
And lastly, voicemail. Leaving clear, concise messages. Name, company, number, maybe repeat it, purpose, next step. And checking your own voicemail regularly, returning calls promptly.
Essential. A good voicemail gives them everything they need, and prompt replies just show you're responsive and professional. It closes the loop.
Wow, okay. That was a really thorough look at phone conversations, thanks to the learner's document. It's clear there's an art to it, isn't there? Blending communication skills, awareness of what's missing visually, and just thoughtful etiquette.
Absolutely. It's a skill set, and like any skill, it can be honed. And mastering it, well, it can lead to much more productive, much more positive interactions, professionally and personally.
And for you, the learner, hopefully these points, pulled from your own resource, give you that confidence boost, those practical steps to make your phone calls more effective and maybe even less daunting. And maybe a final thought for everyone listening. In a world absolutely saturated with digital text, emails, messages, chats, getting really good at phone conversations, mastering that more personal, real-time connection actually be a way to stand out, a way to build deeper connections, even across distance. Something to think about.
Thanks for tuning in. Keep practicing, and for more English lessons, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.